rated #1 3 years in a row. Cheddar Goblin by Devane. It's goblin good.
Cheddar Goblin.
Hello and welcome to the Loose Butthole Reviews. I am your host Smokey, and joining with me as always is my co-host Spooge.
Hello.
And joining with me this week is my co-hosts Murda and Omi.
Hello.
Yo.
And before we get into the review proper, as always, I have to give the 3 rules of our rating system. The first rule is it must be a fraction of 5. 1 means we hate it, 5 means we love it. Rule number 2, if we want our money back, we give it a good old Jeff Goldblum. And rule number 3, if we all agree that the movie deserves a God tier, a 6 out of 5, then it will get a God tier. And today, we are reviewing Mandy from 2018.
Hell
Woo!
And this is actually a
Now-
Redux.
Yeah, I was about to ask that. You guys have reviewed this before in the early days.
Oh, very, very early days. This was when I didn't know where the channel was really gonna go. It was up in the air. I had no fucking clue, and then it kind of just fell into place. Didn't even have the rating system. Didn't even have the proper rating. There was no such thing as God tier. I don't even think the Jeff Goldblum existed.
Did you give
No, I
it
came
any
later.
sort of rating?
Yeah, we just gave it
We gave
4
it
out
a
of 5.
fraction of 5.
Or,
That's been.
I gave it a 5 out of 5. I mean,
That's been part of that's been the review kind of structure from the beginning.
What
The
did you give
fraction of
it?
5.
Okay.
I don't remember. I think somebody has to go check the episode
High?
for me,
Low? What?
I gave it a 5.
because it's so long ago.
Well, do you remember if it was like high or low though?
I think
I
you gave it a
remember
4.
Being high, yeah, it probably gave it a 4.
Yeah.
It's hard to say though, because even back then, like how I was reviewing and rating movies was completely different than how I do it now.
Is this our first redo? Or no? No, it's not. There was another one.
What was our first Redux?
Hmm.
I remember there being one.
I thought there was a Redux, but I could be wrong. I'm not the best.
Well,
to
Yeah, I
remember.
can't
maybe-
We do so many of these.
I don't think there is. We have some planned, for sure, but I don't know if we've done one yet.
We might have done.
I think
a
this one was
Goosey Redux.
maybe. I think y'all had planned to redo this one as well.
Yeah.
And I chose it for my birthday month. So there you go.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it's been in the redo pile. 'Cause I think the other one we're gonna do 2 in my birthday month.
Y'all try to fill the silence. I'm gonna check this real quick because it's actually bugging me. I gotta make sure.
Well, we went from Grandma's Boy to Mandy. Very
Mandy.
different movies,
Oh yes.
I will say. I think I have 2 more picks, and I'm just gonna like really switch it up. Nothing's gonna be the same.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Nice. I'm excited about that.
Well, diversity.
Yes. Make people watch my favorite movies.
I love it because, especially if the movies aren't super well known or popular, allows people to
Yeah,
explore and try new stuff. Man,
Yeah.
put a little relish on their hot dog.
Oh yeah. Come on, Daisy. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I can hear Daisy, and then I hear Daisy on Spooges.
I
And
want to say yes. This is the first official Redux of the channel.
oh, you were checking that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really bothering me.
Well, cool.
Say it.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, this was from season 0. This was way back. This was when we were really bad at making content. It's really bad. Our early
Back when
content's
Kai-
written. I think we were still
Back when
playing.
Kaiba had green hair.
Yeah. I
Does
think we were
Kaiba
still
have green
playing
hair?
Minecraft. Yeah,
In
I
season
think
0.
so.
You ever watch season 0?
No.
That's when he's like Yugi's fucking killing people.
It's because it's actually based on the manga.
Yeah, that's the one when he like does that little game where he's like pouring the liquor on the guy and it's like spilling over and the dude's got like a gun pointed at him and they're like in this frozen game.
Nice. We should talk about Mandy. Although that
Yeah,
sounds
we
cool.
should talk about Mandy, which is directed by a Panos Konsumatos.
Just knowing how you are with names, let me take a look at how it's spelled.
I didn't realize you said a name. I think you just said a spell.
It is Cosmatos. It is Cosmatos.
Panos
Cosmatos.
Cosmatos.
Okay.
Yeah.
He is the son of the Greek-Italian filmmaker George Comatos, who is most known for doing Rambo: First Blood Part 2 and Cobra.
That's pretty sick.
Hmm.
That was his father. though.
Cobra.
That was his father who passed away, actually.
Mm.
And according to him, this movie was an exhale of the grieving of his parents.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which I didn't see, but I could.
Which his first movie, Beyond the Black Rainbow, was, I guess, The Inhale.
I know that Nicolas Cage, he also, when he took this role, he just got divorced from his wife of 14 years, so he had a lot of emotion to get out in this
Aw.
film.
Oh, I say he got it out, but we also
Oh, yeah.
have to go over the rage cage, because there's a tidbit in an interview that Nicolas Cage went over that I find interesting. And
Right.
as we
Well, get
have
started.
mentioned, Nicolas Cage is in this, but we can't get to the plot yet. We got to go over production.
Okay.
Because there is something that came up in none of the interviews whatsoever, like at all, and I'm curious on why. All right, so this movie had 6 producers, but only one of the names really stick out. And that's Elijah Wood.
That's who?
Elijah Wood. Frodo.
Oh,
He produced
Yeah, he was
Is he-
a
I only heard Wood.
Is he one of the bikers or something?
He produced the movie.
he produced it.
Oh, he produced it. Okay, I thought you
Yeah.
said he was in it and that you didn't know where he was.
Oh, no. But
I've
yeah,
listened
they
to
don't
Elijah
mention
Wood
it
on a couple
whatsoever.
podcasts. He's a big horror guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
who? Sorry. I didn't catch that. Oh, he's a big horror guy?
Yeah, so like he's a big horror guy, so he'll produce a bunch of like indie horror movies and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I've seen some of it. Like, some of the indie ones that he's just, like, been into are kind of, like, on the horror side. Seemed cool.
Oh yeah, he's got a lot of them.
It's something that didn't come up in the interviews.
I don't even like when I am just on IMDb, like it doesn't even say that.
Yeah, I just only Wikipedia seems to say it. So
Well,
I wonder
well,
if
that's
that
cool.
fact is even true.
He could have been uncredited.
True.
No,
Like his own
I think
choice.
he appears in the credits,
Oh,
if I'm
okay.
not mistaken, because I'm not on the Wikipedia page. So,
Yeah, on IMDb.
and I pulled that from something.
Cool.
That's good. That's cool. Elijah
But
Wood's
yeah.
pretty sweet.
On
Sin City.
some more production notes. On June 7th, 2017, Nicolas Cage was announced as the star of the film, as we've gone over. Production used the Arri Alexa camera coupled with the Panavision and anamorphic format to achieve the film's old school atmosphere.
Oh yeah. I mean, that was like my favorite thing about this like whole movie was just the constant visuals, like with like the filters and the background and stuff. I mean, all
Yeah.
that
Oh,
like
yeah.
cinematography's
It's visually very stunning. I have a lot of good things to say about the way this film looks.
Mhm.
Alright, Legion M, an entertainment studio that allows fans to invest in and be part of the creation of films, was a production partner for Mandy and hosted a panel discussion featuring director Panos Komatos and others at the Sundance Film Festival in 2018. Cage made a surprise appearance at the event. Probably because he has nothing else to do, because as you mentioned, he was just getting over a divorce.
He's also been in debt for a long time. I mean, I don't know how if he's gotten better with that, but he did blow a lot of his money throughout his career.
He's still blowing. I know he's still buying haunted shit, so.
Yeah, but you gotta have the haunted shit.
Doesn't he have like a grave site he's already purchased in New Orleans?
Yeah,
a
Yeah,
big
you told me that. You
But
told me about that.
he's gonna get one of the grave sites. Yeah. He does. If
Then
I'm
he's
not
got that-
mistaken, he doesn't own the home of Madame Lalaurie anymore. He doesn't
Oh.
actually. Yeah.
I don't think so, but he did.
I think he had to sell his like number one, like the issue number one Superman too that he used to have.
Oh damn!
I forget. I know he had a dinosaur fossil. It was one or the other. It was either the like Tyrannosaurus Rex fossil or or that.
It's just wild though, because like he's in so many movies, like so many recent movies, and so many of them like he's just phoning it in, and you can tell. But then like every now and then there's the really good ones that he obviously really wants to be in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this was kind of like, I don't know if it was the start, but there was like a certain streak that he went on where he was just in a like good movies for a little bit there. Like it was like this, what's the other one called? Willy's Wonderland, where he's the janitor.
Yeah.
Unbearable Weight of
The
Massive
big one?
Talent.
Oh
And
yeah. I want to see
Pig.
that one still.
I still got.
Pig was really
Pig
good.
was good.
So it was, and they all came out relatively close to each other, and I was just like, "Damn, man, is he coming back?"
Yeah, but then you'll see like on Hulu or like just random movies that you've never heard of that are like
Right.
super
Way.
Yeah.
Or Jujitsu. Did you guys see that one?
No.
No, not yet.
So it's called Jujitsu, and he's a martial artist who fights aliens, but he doesn't use Jujitsu at all in the movie. So it was really weird.
Fuck yeah.
He's like a karate guy.
See, he's
It-
Nick Cage. He
Ninjutsu.
doesn't need to use the title of the movie to kick alien ass. He just needs to be Nick Cage.
Right.
He's also he's been married twice since that divorce, so it looks like he's moved on.
Oh yeah.
The divorce was it was a 14-year marriage, and he's been married for less than a year, and now he's married to somebody he married in 2021.
Mm.
That's good to know.
It'd be like that sometimes.
He's just impulsive, an impulsive man.
I mean, some people like to get married. I don't know.
And since
Yeah.
we're talking about Cage, there was a interesting thing that he went over in an interview that I watched. The Cage rage came up, and he doesn't akin to it as what we call the Cage rage. What we've been perceiving.
We don't understand.
You don't. Yeah. You we've been simple-minded this whole time. We've been very simple-minded. See, you're looking at him as an actor when you need to be looking at him as a music performer. And what he's doing is performing music. And when he goes crazy, when he's raging out, that's because that in the music that's in his head, that's how he's singing the song. So he's got to let it out like that, and it comes out, and that's his performances are music. It's not fucking acting.
Cage core.
So yeah, he seemed
That's
actually
interesting.
very offended when she called it the Cage rage.
The Cage rage.
I'm a little offended by his explanation of what goes on in his head.
He was in
Expecting people to know.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movies in 2023.
Cranking them out.
Oh, yeah.
what do you mean?
He's got a
But,
new
like-
one that I really want to see. It's called Long Legs.
Yeah, that one.
Uh,
that one.
he-
Yeah,
I like
this year.
Dream Scenario. I thought that was pretty good.
I still need to see that.
Oh, look at 2019 was his year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 movies.
Cranking them out. Gotta crank them out though. You got to. You gotta
Oh,
grind.
okay, wait. 2018.
Gotta be on that
1, 2,
grind.
3,
He owes
4,
alimony or
5,
something.
6, 7, 8 movies in
Damn.
2018, including Mandy.
He
Oh, yeah.
I
owes
think he
somebody
just has,
something.
like, a
He owes a shit ton of money. God damn.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Or he was doing like I think it's just because he owes a bunch of money, but like the sad Bruce Willis thing where like he was in a bunch of trash movies, but it's like because his disease was like worsening, so he was just taking a bunch of movies so he could support his family, which is sad.
Yeah.
All right. On that sad note, we can move on to the next production now.
Let's talk about. No, I want to talk about chimp actors, actually.
All right. So the weapon forged by Red, Nicolas Cage's character, was based on the F from the logo from the extreme metal band Celtic Frost.
Oh, hell yeah. One of my favorite albums of all time.
Is that the Spooge? Is that the right genre of metal? Extreme metal?
That's an all-encompassing one for like if you like don't want to be like, oh, I don't know if this is black metal or death metal. Like anything that's just got some loud screaming and intensity to it can be classified as extreme metal.
Okay. The expert says that's fine.
Yes.
Well, did Expert agree with me that they could be called avant-garde metal?
It's somewhat. They definitely can go different. I mean, they could go kind of thrash in some albums. They have my favorite album's kind of like a gothy metal, like Blackened. Kind of. It's called The Monotheist. It's one of the best things. And also, that's pronounced Celtic Frost, which isn't the right way to pronounce Celtic. But the band is called
Are they
Celtic
Celtic?
Frost. No.
I think they're from Sweden.
Yeah.
They are as Celtic as Sean Connery was Spaniard in Highlander.
Hey,
Oh no.
I've mentioned them before,
Yes.
and this is the very first time you've ever corrected me on this. I just want to point this out.
They're Swiss.
Now,
Oh, yeah, I mean,
avant-garde metal, does that refer to the music only, or is it like something like Guar, where they're like very theatrical?
Right.
Like,
Is it a show?
it's kind of arbitrary with avant-garde. I mean, you could even classify like some of Buckethead stuff like avant-garde metal. It's usually just experimental. Generally, Guar, just because of the scene that they're in, because a lot of times it has to do like with what scene you are into. Is that Guar is like shock rock?
Yeah,
Is what they're kind of
not.
classified,
Guar's
and
not
they
really
dip into metal
avant-garde.
later. Yeah.
yeah, I was
They're
just
punk.
thinking of like the way they present themselves would be avant-garde.
Yeah, they kind of started art punky though. It was like art horror punk.
Like their costumes and their image has to be avant-garde.
Yeah.
But not
I
the
mean,
The-
yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
people would
we
just say
can't
it's a
argue
gimmick.
with that, but it just I know for a fact, even though I'm not a music expert, that we can't classify them as avant-garde metal.
I'd call like
their
Cynic
their
avant-garde.
music isn't their music, they don't it's not about diversifying your music, but you know that it's Guar, and sometimes Celtic Frost, they'll make a song and you're like, is this Celtic Frost? I have to pronounce
Yeah,
it
that's
like
true.
that now.
Yes,
I mean, they're the
correct.
ones that are wrong. Unless you're talking about the Celtics, like the sports team.
The sports ball team.
Yeah. I forget if they're hockey though. I forget
If
what
my
the Celtics
audio's
are.
weird, I'm also checking my plants because the landlord's sprinkler timer is all fucking crazy. Making sure these plants don't get flooded.
Hey, if
Oh, yeah.
if you have not been getting rain, that lawn needs that lawn needs that water.
This
Sure.
man and his lawn.
Hey, I have been watching grass just die for the last like 3 weeks, and it's not
That's
good.
our landlord runs the sprinklers twice a day, every day.
Hey, that
It's
you
over.
got to. You fucking got to when
It's
there's no
dude,
goddamn
it's
rain.
Colorado, man. Your grass shouldn't need this if you're in Colorado.
That's even worse. I would do it fucking 3 times a day in Colorado because of how dry it is up there.
It's so wasteful. It's so wasteful. Like, get a lawn that doesn't need that, is what I'm saying.
She's talking about getting rid of the grass entirely, just being
Yeah.
like,
If
letting
your
whatever
grass
grows
can't
grows.
survive
You need
without being watered 3 times a day, then it shouldn't be here.
It's
to
weak.
have to
Survival of the
explain to have to
I
explain
know what
that
you're saying.
the grass is part of the ecosystem. We need it.
It's a
No,
natural
we
grass.
don't.
They
We don't
they
need
they
this type
planted
of
this
grass.
grass. This isn't natural
We
grass. This is
absolutely
nice.
do not need this type of grass.
Yeah.
No, we
Okay.
don't.
Okay, maybe
This is some Bermuda
maybe-
lawn. Like, this has
Yeah.
no place
That's
in
why it sucks up
Colorado
here. That's why it doesn't do
residential.
well. Even with the 2 times that it's like,
Bermuda should
fucking-
do well with the heat.
that's the
But it's
dryness.
Why?
You need fucking ryegrass up there with the cold.
Sure. Anything else that survives better in Colorado because it's supposed to be in Colorado.
Yeah, we get droughts up here. We don't need to be spinning water on grass just so it
It
looks
so
nice.
rarely rains here too.
Yeah.
So this isn't the right. We shouldn't have to like waste this much water and money to keep this type of grass alive when there are native lawns that we could be having instead. Is my soapbox. Because if you're forcing it to be watered twice a day, every single day,
Yeah.
and like running up the water bill, wasting water that does not need to be wasted.
If it's
It's-
Bermuda,
it shouldn't be
really he's actually
Gra-
underwatering it.
Grass eugenics.
Because it's
I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm saying it has no place here in this
It
Colorado.
doesn't even need to be here. Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm not gonna be like, hey, get rid of the grass. I'm just gonna treat the grass that's there.
Yeah, you ain't paying for the water bill though. You ain't paying for the water bill, and you don't have to move your plants so they don't get fucking flooded like every
That
day and getting sick.
the
A bunch
sprinkler.
of our tomatoes got sick.
Now that I can't negotiate this, but why is the goddamn sprinkler? It's his goddamn lawn. He should be in
What?
charge of. It's his lawn. He should have to fucking pay for the goddamn water.
Yeah, agreed.
But hey,
No argument there.
let's get back
Comes
to
out of
this
our water bill.
Let's get back to this Mandy
Yeah,
review.
comes out of our water bill.
Let's get back to this Mandy review. You know the song
Okay.
Starless? Do you know the song Starless by the Progressive...
You mean my favorite King Crimson song?
Yeah,
The
boy.
progressive rock band?
Yeah, the progressive rock band King Crimson. It plays over the opening credits.
Yeah,
It
it's a
does.
great opening song.
It is taken from their 1974 album Red, which is also the name of Cage's character.
Sweet.
Yeah, it also has a single EP too.
There's also a lot of red in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is very red.
Yeah, they use that a lot. And of course, red can be symbolized as rage and anger. You know,
Yes, which is his
as an
Rage
character.
H.
or an exhale of grievance.
The anger part.
I know the director said this was the acceptance, but this definitely was the anger, like Spooge said.
Mm-hmm.
Like he
Yeah.
definitely was mad.
It's definitely
If
the anger response to grief, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much all the production notes I got.
Cool.
Plot time.
It's the plot time. It starts in. We can start in 1983 in the Pacific Northwest. We have a recovering alcoholic war veteran lumberjack, Red Miller, played by Nicolas Cage. He lives with.
Does it ever explain that?
No, it never explains that whatsoever.
I
wonder if it was
don't
like
know.
a badge we missed.
Maybe there was like.
I definitely-
Oh, he might have had a chip.
I definitely caught recovering alcoholic because he pulls a bottle of vodka out of somewhere in the bathroom, and only alcoholics do that.
Yeah.
That's not a normal place to
Yeah,
put
he's hiding
alcohol.
it.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey.
So I definitely got that, but there was like literally no background on his character,
Which I love.
Sometimes
unless
you
I
gotta,
missed it.
Sometimes you gotta take a swig while you're in the shower. You know.
Yeah, if you're an alcoholic, yeah.
Or just in case
It's
shit
your
goes
hobby.
down type of bottle. Sorry.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I just I didn't know if there was somewhere if I missed exposition because I think there's none.
No, there was no exposition. He might have also had AA chip as well. You know, that I missed.
Yeah, I wasn't looking for that, so I don't know.
But he lives with his girlfriend, artist and author Mandy Bloom, played by a. Give me
Do you need help? Let me
Andrea
see.
Rise Burrow Burruff Burrow
Riseborough?
Riseborough, yeah.
I'm guessing Andrea Riseborough.
Andrea
Okay, yeah,
Riseborough. Yeah, I got it. So, who had an abusive childhood? They do not mention that whatsoever.
Oh no!
They do.
Oh,
They
he
do?
mentioned, or her dad gets mentioned.
Yeah.
She talks about a story about her dad, yeah. About the
Okay.
birds.
We
The-
can
the
assume
starlings.
her dad is a fucking psycho, abusive
Yeah.
father.
Gotcha.
Just from
You
that
don't remember
story.
that scene?
I guess I was
the Starlings?
misinterpreting. I guess I was misinterpreting that story.
Mm.
It's a happy story about bashing little baby birds.
Yeah.
No, as more of that was more of a like a Mandy has a trouble. You know, Mandy might have some issues that we don't get to solve.
Hmm. I
Kind
mean,
of
yeah, it kind of
situation.
was that way because you could interpret it from the story about like her dad making her and like her friends like kill baby birds as children, and also just like the scar on her. You could kind of like use your imagination, and that she probably got that from childhood too.
But yeah, Mandy works at as a gas station cashier by day, and at night creates elaborate fantasy art, which Red greatly admires.
Pretty fucking sweet.
While walking to work, Mandy catches the attention of Jeremiah Sand, played by Linus Roach. If you don't know who Linus Roach is, he plays the King of Wessex, Eckberg, in Vikings, the TV show.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit!
No, that's where I remember him from.
I didn't know that.
And
It's been a long time since I watched Vikings. To be fair.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rip the Band-Aid off. He's my number one problem with this movie.
On
cult
his
leader.
portrayal of a cult leader.
The leader of the religious cult leader. Yeah, the leader of the religious cult. Yeah, he's
I liked his portrayal. I had no problems.
Yeah, I thought he was perfect.
I didn't think he was charismatic enough.
Hmm.
It just wasn't there. And before you're like, oh, what you talking about? Watch him as King Eckberg again. I'd get in that bath all day long with King Eckberg, but this guy, Jeremiah Sand, nah.
He's supposed to be a loser. I thought he played it well because he's supposed to be a loser, and I think the only way he got as far as he did was with magical means.
I don't really want to jump. There's a specific scene later on that I'm just gonna rip it off. The scene where he breaks down and is like, "I'll suck your dick, man." I think that would just have a bigger gut punch if he was more charismatic throughout the movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it'd be more like, "Oh shit, he's actually broke character." You know, just because Jeremiah, he's not a good cult leader. He's just not.
I think we'll
he
have
doesn't
different.
have that
I think we'll
charisma.
have different opinions on that.
But yeah, he's the.
But I mean, like, I think there's a lot of cult leaders that, like, if you actually hung out with them, they're not as charismatic as people say they are.
Yeah.
Like, they're instantly just like, ugh, like, this guy's fucking weird.
Or if you are just so outside of the cult, then you just see through it so much easier.
Yeah.
Or maybe a rival cult leader just sees competition and wants to eliminate said rival cult leader. Who knows? No. Who's to say?
You getting offended because he ain't representing the game good.
Hell no, he's not.
But he's probably how most, like, fucking cult leaders actually are. Is why I like him.
But
little fucking whiny ass simpering little bitches.
Yeah, like trying to sell their shitty music.
I don't know. Just again, like I said, seeing him as King Eckbert and seeing him as this, I feel he could have added some more charisma to it, and it would have.
Okay.
Again, it would have made that scene way better for me. And I can't get over that. Oh, it's a great scene. It's a great. Don't get me wrong. And he plays the cult leader well. He is a little pathetic fucking asshole, but you know.
He shows his dick even though he didn't want to. That's how much he put in it.
Hey, that's true.
Everyone laughed.
That's true.
And
everyone
everyone laughed.
because we thought it was safe to make fun of because we thought it was a prosthetic.
But yes, he
So we were
is.
meaner than we should.
He plays the leader of the cult Children of the New Dawn. He is so obsessed with Mandy that he orders his disciple Brother Swan to kidnap Mandy. Brother Swan is played by a Ned Dinia. I'm fucking that up. Someone help me.
I'm not looking at it. Hold on.
Hey, which I really love this
Dennehy?
character.
Dennehy, yes,
Dennehy.
Ned
Dennehy sounds good.
Dennehy. Alright, he played in Harry Potter Deathly Hallows Part 2 as...
He looks like he'd be a Death Eater.
a
I don't know who he
scarred
is, though.
man.
Scarred man.
So
Scarred
Probably
there
just
you
like
go.
some weird wizard that was like in one of the, I forget what the bad place was called.
And
Aspen.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like he's got some, like, I don't know. He seems to play like a lot of like bad, dingy characters.
Oh yeah. Was he in Walking Dead? Because he seems kind of familiar from that too.
I think that's possible. He's got a lot of credits.
It
Lots
just
of credits.
He's definitely a background side guy.
he was in The Walking
I was-
Dead, Daryl Dixon, so you were right.
Oh, I never watched that.
He was Daryl?
No, he was in the Daryl Dixon spinoff. There's been a bunch of spinoffs that
Okay.
that I wasn't
That I
even
don't
aware
know
of.
about.
Yeah, on it just like the AMC like streaming service.
Okay.
And just
I was
to
like,
make
that's not
sure, because I've heard them cut in every so often, but I haven't actually heard them. Omi, are you present still?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay,
You just keep interrupting him.
my bad.
Sorry, Omi.
We're all good.
You can
Alright.
just tell us to, like, hey, stop.
Hey,
Yell
hey,
it. It's okay.
stop.
Hey. Stop.
Yeah, you gotta take your time on this one. Unfortunately, gotta be aggressive. But,
Tell us what you think about his penis. We want to know.
About what?
I mean,
About his
yeah.
penis.
I don't have any thoughts on his penis, like
Man.
politically.
A lot less. We have a
Yeah.
lot of
I thought it looked like
I'm not
a
against
fucking pipe.
his penis. I just thought I was agreeing that it looked weird, but I'm sure he.
Hey,
sure he
you
doesn't.
know, I'm
I
gonna
mean, I'm sure
put
there's no
this-
complaints in the
I'm
bedroom.
not saying that it looks weird. I'm saying it looked like a smoking pipe. The hole was on top. Okay?
I've seen weirder penises.
He can't say that I'm lying about that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this man a complex.
Put a little bowl of weed in it.
All right. Moving on with the
Yeah.
plot.
Yeah, Swan proceeds to summon the Black Skulls, a cannibalistic demonic biker gang that regularly consumes LSD, tainted LSD. The
The gray goo.
yes, the gray. It's some gray shit. These what were they? What the Black Skulls are Scabs, Fuck Pig, and Cheddar Goblin.
I think Fuck Pig is definitely the one with the blade cock.
I didn't
right?
know they had names.
Yeah, the Fuck Pig is definitely the one with the spike cock.
Watching
It's gotta
porn.
be.
Huh, pig. There's also
Those
dog.
names kind of remind me of like the bad guys from The Crow. They all had like fun nicknames like that.
Yeah, and Hellraiser too, because they never actually said those nicknames in the movies as well till later, but they were just nicknamed that from like fans and the crew,
Hmm.
Do you
all the
think
Cenobites.
Dog the dog is one of the crew too?
Dog the dog.
Yeah, it's a character named Dog the dog.
Who-
It
Is
might
that in
be.
the? I
There's,
wonder which one
I
was
think,
that.
Scratch, Sis, Scabs, Fuck Pig, and Dog the dog.
Hmm.
There's also Lizzie the tiger, but that was a tiger. I don't remember
Oh yeah,
there
that
being a
was.
dog, like an actual dog.
I think Dog the dog might have been. Maybe that was the spiked guy. Does that mean that's four names, right? Because there's four of them.
There's more names. See,
Hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 names.
Wikipedia
Oh
has
shit.
Scratch, Scabs, Fuck Pig, and Cheddar Goblin.
Well, Cheddar Goblin's not one of the.
Oh,
I
Cheddar
mean,
Goblin is. Yeah,
he's
he's
the
the Cheddar
Cheddar
Goblin.
Goblin.
He's in the commercial.
He's credited as one for some reason.
Well, they got it wrong. Yeah, the Cheddar Goblin's from the
Maybe
commercial.
he's a secret member of their cult,
Oh yeah.
their biker gang.
I thought you were just trying to get that macaroni.
But yeah, after being offered a cult member as a sacrifice, which I did not remember that part. I thought they were offered fucking a dagger.
No, they got offered. They got offered they offered the dagger too. No, they
Yeah, they
didn't
offered
offer the
two
dagger.
of
They
the.
used the dagger to stab Cage in the side.
Yeah, but they did offer their two of their cult members. I
I
don't
didn't
remember the
remember the
name,
second
and I
one.
thought
There's
maybe
the
it was
first
just one of
one.
them.
It was just the big guy that they were making.
Yeah, the fat guy they were making fat jokes.
Yeah.
I remember, Bad Santa Kid,
Yeah, the
I
bad Santa
remember.
kid.
Oh, damn.
Except not actually.
Yeah, it's not played by it just looks strongly like the Bad Santa Kid.
Yeah, they do offer a sacrifice to.
But yeah, so the gang breaks into their home and subdues Mandy and Red. The cultist Mother Marilyn and Sister Lucy drug Mandy with some LSD and some wasp. That would probably be a great ass trip if it wasn't fucking for the environment she's in. But she seems to be enjoying
Doing
it
some
nonetheless.
just gonna say, oh yeah, do some wasp, like everyone knows what wasp is.
Hey, that way nobody can get mad at me. It's up to you, your imagination.
Give me some of that wasp.
But yeah, this is before presenting her to Jeremiah. The occult leader attempts to seduce Mandy with his psychedelic folk music, which, if it's his music, which I think it's supposed to be,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
it needs. This is where the credit just goes out. At least Charles Manson could say he made decent music.
Somewhat.
I think that's subjective.
There might be one catchy. There might be one like weird kind of cool song that he did.
You just gotta. You just haven't vibed with it on acid.
Just not to Charles Manson's level.
I don't know if I want to vibe with it on acid.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
To each his own.
Sounds
To
good, but
each
kind
his
of
own.
funny.
But again, this music is definitely where the charisma for me goes out, and it goes out for Mandy as well. She proceeds to laugh at Sand, and it infuriates him greatly. So,
Yeah.
in retaliation, Sand stabs the bound and gagged Red and burns Mandy alive before him. Yeah.
Which that is
Which it-
quite the retaliation for getting your dick laughed at.
I was kind of happy and
Oh,
go,
yeah.
well, boy, that escalated quickly, but okay.
It did.
It did.
You don't like my song and my penis. I'm gonna burn you alive and try to kill your boyfriend.
Mhm. Tisk. Which is really cool. I mean, that whole scene, when they kind of zoom in on like all the cult members' faces, kind of shows like each of their personalities,
Except
of like how they're reacting to it.
Except the one that does the tilt. He just had to do the head tilt. He's not even like doing a smile or anything. He's fucking just like doing the finger guns while he's tilting his head. So it's like, man, come on, at least do a smile. You got it.
That guy only has one expression, which I liked. It was just slack jaw.
Oh, that guy?
Yeah.
He's the one that kept
Is,
spitting on the fucking car for some goddamn reason. It's like, you're not cleaning it.
His name is Brother Hanker.
Oh, that's a hanker. All right.
Who is he played by?
Alexis Julimont.
Okay. Do you know what he's been in?
Mandy, Raw, and The Break, and a bunch of TV stuff.
Okay. He needed better direction. That's for damn.
He might be French. I don't know. Maybe he's Canadian for like, because there's a bunch of like French named stuff, and I know Raw is a French horror film as well.
Could
Right?
be Le Fond.
One of those like French extremist horrors, yeah. That I will never watch.
Well then.
Raw. Oh, that's the one. It's like a vegan one.
Yeah. Well, I gotta say, after Sands and his followers leave, Red frees himself and mourns Mandy's death, and after consumes a bottle of vodka, wordlessly
Bathroom
swears
vodka.
revenge.
After he sees Cheddar Goblin, of course. Not to skip Cheddar Goblin.
Yeah, he does see.
Which how
Cheddar.
terrible would that be? Like you see your wife or your girlfriend get killed in front of you, and then like you wake up from your shock to Cheddar Goblin.
Hey,
fucked
It's
up.
pretty unfazed.
you know, I might even be happy. Be like, hey, at least Cheddar Goblin's still around.
He seemed a little bit happy. He just went Cheddar Goblin.
He did.
It was what he needed.
Now what he needed was all the cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
We are jumping ahead, but okay.
Okay.
The next morning, Red visits his friend,
Carruthers?
Carruthers, played by
Carruthers.
Bill Duke.
Carruthers. Which I recognize that actor as well, but I don't know what.
He played in, give me 1 second, Commando and Predator. He also plays in Car Wash, American Gigolo, No Man's Land, and X-Men The Last Stand, apparently. I feel like I remember him from X-Men The Last Stand, actually.
I think I remember from Predator too.
But, yeah. And he to retrieve his crossbow and bolts. Before Red leaves, his friend warns him of the Black Skulls. Red reinforces his determination by forging a battle axe, which, as we went over, is based on the F in the Celtic Frost progressive.
Oh hell yeah!
I was about to say progressive rock, but that's King Grit. I'm mixing that with King Crimson.
Yes.
Carruthers has the best quotes in this movie.
Yeah,
Like,
I
all
really
movie-
love a full movie about Carruthers.
Yeah. Like, so what you hunting, Jesus freaks? I didn't know they were in season, man. Like,
I don't even think they're really Jesus freaks. They're using demons.
I mean,
I don't
yeah.
think they're Jesus freaks either, but I mean, it was the quickest way to just summarize the situation.
Yeah. A lot of weird cult hippie people like that kind of came out of the weird Jesus freak, thing that happened. So that's why, that's the correlation there. Like Children of God and stuff.
Alright, so since there's silence, he shoots a biker with his crossbow and runs him down. But the biker crashes his car, and Red is captured in the process. At their hideout...
Yeah, he like flips his car on his body because he's all just decked out in metal.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean... oh yeah, this was Spikes. This was good old Spikes.
Yeah.
He was wearing the fucking Dark Souls armor.
Yeah. Which I think he did get killed. I think he got crushed under that, but
Yeah,
he
he-
flips the
that-
car
that
around
was
because
his-
he's not
Maybe
around
that's
anymore.
Scratch. I don't know.
Could have been
Or
Scratch.
Stab.
But at their hideout, Red breaks free from his restraints and kills the rest of the bikers. Which that kind of just brushes over the fact that it's not a pretty sight.
Nah,
hideout.
Fuck Pig is in there.
Yeah,
We know which one Fuck Pig is.
yeah, he's having a grand
yeah.
old time, and there was blood on the spike. There was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Subtle but horrific, yes.
Yes.
As he investigates their hideout after killing them, but he doesn't kill all of them. There's one more left at the hideout. But he ingests some of the drugs, which is cocaine and the hallucinogenic LSD. And following the images in his visions, Red finds the... Oh, no, he doesn't. After the images, he goes and fights the last... he actually uses the battle axe. Yeah, he
Black
uses
Skull, I mean.
the Black Skull, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which I think some context with like the gray goo. I mean that I don't know if it's the exact same stuff, but maybe we're supposed to be led to believe because like we're before we were mentioned about like that there's a chemist that gave him a bad batch basically because he got pissed off at them and it malformed them into what they are now. And so if it's true, if that's like the gray stuff is what that is, like we could definitely see that Cage's character has gone through a change. I mean, he took a little bit of it.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering if that gray goo was the same like bad batch that they were talking about.
It seemed like
I feel
it
like
to
it
me.
might be.
Or if it had to do with a wasp, because when they pulled the wasp out of the jar, it was in like some goo too.
Mm-hmm.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of drug goo in this movie to keep
Hard to
track
follow.
of.
Yeah.
But yeah, after
Psychedelic goo.
after he kills the last Black Skull, he goes to find the chemist who made the LSD. The chemist is actually played by a Richard Brake, which, if you don't know who that is, he plays in, 31 as, I think, what was the name? Don't tell me. Doomhead. Yes, Doomhead. He plays Doomhead in 31.
Never seen it.
Never heard of it.
It's a Rob Zombie movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
He also plays in 3 from Hell as well.
Oh
Which
shit, he was in Barbarian. Oh, was he the daddy? Oh no.
Oh yeah.
I think he was the dad.
Yeah. He was. Another good movie.
But yeah, the chemist tells Red where to find the cult. He lets the chemist go, right?
So it's vague.
We don't see. I'm saying, since we don't see the chemist's death, that we gotta say he's alive, because they would have showed the death. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah, and it seemed like he didn't really have any reason to kill the chemist.
Yeah.
I mean, the chemist even let the tiger go. Wasn't even like, oh, I'm gonna order it to attack you or anything. He was just like, oh, you can go.
Which I like that when we were watching Starfish before that happened, said out loud, he was like, man, the tiger shouldn't be in that small of a cage. And then that was like right as he went like, oh, I understand.
You're right.
And then he like let it he let it out.
I mean, he was basically reading Red's mind the whole time he was there. Like, Red said very little, and he was just like answering him.
I don't think he said anything at all. Red didn't say anything at all.
Yeah. He was definitely speaking on that LSD type of like psychic level.
Yeah, the chemist knew. The chemist was on a wavelength that I want to be on 24/7. That just, it's not achievable. He's soaking his hands in it.
That's too much. It's so much that he could hear the audience of this movie and answer them.
Yes.
Yeah, so apparently at their makeshift wooden church in a quarry, Red kills the cult members one by one in increasingly brutal fashion. Which
it seems like he maybe let Sister Lucy go.
Oh yeah.
Maybe. I think so.
I like to think he just gave her a head start.
Now, the chainsaw. Is that a real chainsaw?
The big giant one?
Yeah, the long ass one. Like, is that?
I think they do make big ones like that. Like for like special. I mean, of course. I mean, chainsaws, of course, never work how they do in movies. But like, you know, that's something I always allow because chainsaw fight's fucking cool.
Let's see. I'm just gonna type in long chainsaw and see if one comes up.
Because it just I'm not saying the chainsaw fight wasn't cool. I would have preferred, two regular chainsaws.
Oh yeah, they've got one. They've got one that long.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Just wanted to make sure that they're being in the realm of realism, and that motherfucker just ain't being the Seth Roth of goddamn chainsaws.
Yeah, they got real long chainsaws.
Pretty sure that one's bigger than that too.
Yeah, and they have one that are like the whole thing isn't a chain, but like there's a pole that they have it on too for the high up trees. But look,
oh yeah,
we got
that's
this chainsaw is like taller than this person.
It's called a. Well, that's not called a pole saw, but the one on the pole is called a pole saw. I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder why. So
But
yes,
yeah,
your chainsaw fight. Yes, you have realistic chainsaws. You got the
and
little chode and then like the giant one.
And one he was even having issues working, which is very much like real life.
Yeah.
yeah, so after doing that, he then goes in the tunnels beneath the church where he finds Mother Marilyn, and she tries to seduce him, but he ain't having none of that shit, and proceeds to decapitate her and takes her. And then he confronts Sands by taunting him with the severed head. And then this is where the scene happens where he's like, "Oh, you don't. I'm the master of everything." And this is where he really needed to bring out the King Egbert. That this was the moment where he needed to feel like, oh shit, this dude is actually in charge of this room. He's like intelligent, he knows what he's doing, he's manipulative, and he's in control, and he knows he's in control, and then you just take it from him, because that's what happens to him in Vikings, and it would have been a bitch better just to have the breakdown scene and then crush his skull.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't get the charisma.
I got you. Though I mean, there's definitely something going on in that room. With all the weird lights that he goes into. But I feel like I feel like you could even see that say that like even though he didn't have that charisma, maybe he was just a tool to be used to get what the god actually like wanted to be his vessel, which was Red.
Oh
Maybe.
yeah, I will say he was in contact with something. This this cult had real magical artifacts with real
Mm-hmm.
power. So I don't know
Mandy.
who he was communicating with, but he had a hook up to some crazy shit.
Mm-hmm.
He just gotta you gotta fucking them. Unfortunately, them nat ones they pile up, man, and he was rolling them all day long with the charisma checks. It wasn't happening.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he gets his skull crushed, and then he sets Sand's body and the church on fire before driving away. As Red drives, he hallucinates Mandy smiling in the passenger seat of his car, while the landscape behind him now appears fantastical and otherworldly, which can go to Murda's theory of him now being connected to whatever higher power that Jeremiah was connected to.
I think that was Fuji's theory, but I like it.
I like.
I
I'll steal
I'm I got things confused, but that happens.
it.
So yeah, that's
I
the
think it
plot of
could
the.
be that, or like maybe he just went totally crazy.
That too.
Yeah, he might have just finally just snapped.
He's just
Or he
perpetually
just
crazy from the gray goo
yeah.
and trauma.
So, are we ready to do the who's crazier segment, the audience or the critics?
Sure,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
All right, so this is kind of a new little part of the reviews where we kind of go over the Rotten Tomato and Metacritic scores. So, Rotten Tomatoes, the critics gave it a 90%. They were thinking this go around.
Nice.
The audience,
All
not
right.
so. The audience, not so much. Only a
No.
67. Not bad. That's still decent.
I'm not surprised. It's kind of.
But
There's a lot of people who are like, "What's going on?" What's the
Maybe.
big?
What's
They didn't
going on?
over-explain. Well, they didn't over-explain the plot like 50 fucking times, like in like a Marvel movie or some shit. Not everyone's quipping.
Yeah.
Where are the quips?
This movie was also not a financial success either.
oh no,
But
it
I
was
mean, with
not.
indie films, it's hard with indie films.
The
True.
budget was, according to Wikipedia, was 6 million. It only made 1.7 million back.
That's a crime.
Hopefully, it's doing better digitally.
Maybe. I mean, it was released on video on demand like the very next day, so who's to say?
I did like
'Cause it-
that.
Because we got to put this in perspective. It had a limited cinematic release. I think it was only released for a day, September 13th, playing
I hate
at
when
a
you do that.
maximum of 250 theaters before releasing on video on demand. So it didn't even have a chance.
Yeah.
True.
Which
Well,
September is not
I-
even the dead zone. September's like prime, actually.
Yeah.
If we're going, critics or audience, I'm going with the critics on this one.
For sure.
Oh yeah, I'm with the critics on this one.
Doesn't usually happen.
It's true.
I hate to say it, I'm more finding that it's because I'm becoming a critic myself.
I think I find that what I disagree with critics the most on is comedy.
Oh yeah, they just
Yeah.
don't get they don't get high.
Well, they're very harsh on. I feel like they're very harsh on horror as well.
Yeah.
well, horror
They
is
can be.
horror. Like we gotta put in perspective horror and comedy. It's extremely oversaturated. So the critic,
That's true.
if a critic, this might be on the critic. They might just be watching too many comedies at once, because that will happen on this channel. I will start getting sick of a specific genre if we watch it too many movies in a row.
Burnout.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, this genre is cool and all, but I'm starting to compare the movies too much, and that's something that I hate doing on this, is comparing this to a movie to another movie, because they're supposed to stand
Yeah,
alone.
that's why my ratings don't really make sense if you line them up, because I'm trying not to compare them to other movies.
Yeah.
I do.
I end up doing it most of the time, but I try to refrain from doing it. But still, critics are fucking stupid most of the time. Just wondering.
Oh yeah. It's not me, motherfuckers. Are we ready for final thoughts?
Yeah, I think so. Does anybody have any random notes that they had?
Let's see. Fill the void while I look for the little trivia.
Anything you want to add, Omi?
No, I mean, we kind of talked about like Elijah Wood being a producer on this. That was like my big fun fact that I thought was cool.
Omi, are you more on the critics or audience side of that?
Of this particular one, I am more on the critic side.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
No, we got the Celtic Frost thing. We already did that. We already talked about, Nicolas Cage using his emotions from his very fresh divorce.
And his method of not being in a rage cage, but it being a song.
The Cheddar Goblin commercial was directed by Casper Kelly, who directed the Adult Swim short Too Many Cooks.
Huh. Oh shit.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
showed me.
Yeah, from I forget what that series is called because it's like a bunch of short things, but they also had fuck, I can't remember what that's called. What those they're like Adult Swim shorts because the first one of that was the one with that other weird one with can't remember what it's called. It's like a a home with people in it, I think is what it's called. It's just like the one that's like
Oh
the
shit, this is a good
daughter
one.
slowly fusing through the floor as the parents are freaking out, and this like baby getting progressively like wandering off as like the grandma's just watching TV. And there's like weird things that happen that like flash like weird animated like monsters that like run by the screen.
That sounds like a similar aesthetic to Cheddar Goblin.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
Panos Cosmatos' favorite Nicolas Cage movie is Vampire's Kiss.
That ain't bad.
Oh
That's
yeah,
not
that's a
bad.
good one. That's a good one.
That is a
I
good
know
one.
I know Henry was like friends with some people that worked on the I think it was on the dude that worked on the Cheddar Goblin. I think he even had like him on a guest episode, you know, when they interviewed
Yeah,
him. Because
I
which makes
remember
sense
that.
because they both worked in Adult Swim.
Just for the little, you know, um, homages, they do say that they live near Crystal Lake, which,
Uh
Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Our boy Jason Voorhees.
Yes. So maybe, I mean, maybe in this world, like this isn't like all too crazy of a thing that happens. I don't know, because no one seemed to be like that like surprised that they were demons,
nope.
you know?
Yeah.
So I don't really know what this world is because I'd be surprised that they were demons.
I have a little theory, a little head canon, I should say, that it's like of the same world of like Willy's Wonderland too, and that, that's a sequel to this.
Which I have
How
not
that goes.
seen.
That'd be great. Have you
They
not?
Which I wish it
definitely
was
have
better.
a lot of similarities, and I remember watching them around the same time too,
Mm.
to where like I constantly mix them up. I'm like, yeah, he has no lines in Mandy, but no.
Yeah, he has some lines in
Also,
this.
when Nicolas Cage was first approached to be in this film, um, Cosmatos wanted him to be Jeremiah Sand, but Nicolas Cage wanted to be Red.
Mm.
I have a
Oh, okay.
feeling
So he's
that
about to be
that's
the
him
serial.
trying
He's
to
about to be
prove he
the.
doesn't need to
Okay,
be
I
in
gotcha.
Marvel.
Yeah.
Let's see. Says Panos told him that this is a story about old age versus youth, and he didn't think he was right to play Red, and no agreements were able to be made. A year later, through Elijah Wood, they met again to talk about the film. And this time they explored more detail of the themes of love and loss within the film. Um, and yeah, and then he felt confident with him playing Red, which I guess he wanted to be the hero.
Yeah, none of the interviews that I watched said any of that. Like none of them. Nobody mentioned, "Hey, we decided to do this because Elijah Wood spoke to me" or anything like that. It's nothing like that.
Also, let's see, Brother Swan shows Red a blade he will pierce his side with, and he tells him, "Take a good look, you piece of human excrement. This is the tainted blade of the Pale Knight, straight from the Abyssal Layer." This is a reference to the Dungeons and Dragons game. Pale Knight is the
Yes.
mother of demons and an Abyssal Lord. So we got
Yes.
some D&D in there.
I fucking love the quotes in this movie.
You got a good one.
Yeah, I got. So it was going back to my boy Carruthers. He goes, these arrows cut through the bone like a fat kid eats cake. What? Give this man his
I think we
own
laughed at that.
movie.
Like, please give him his own movie, and I need an appearance by the chemist
Oh yes.
because I feel like Carruthers might know this chemist as well. He knew a lot. Carruthers knew, like, he was not surprised about there being demon bikers. He knew all about them. I
He
need
was
to
from the
know
truckers.
how, I need to know how these people know each other. I need to know this man's background. Why was he holding Red's weapons for him?
I mean, they
Yeah,
seem
he
to
had
be
a
in a
very
very
like
isolated area
Whistler.
in Alaska.
I don't know, man. He gave me like Whistler from Blade vibes. He also gave like the grandpa from Lost Boys just knows.
Yes. Been around.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, yep, this town's got fucking vampires.
Nothing
That's the
fucking
whole
safe.
vibe he gave.
I
Yeah.
have a feeling he's more of a demon hunter, to be honest.
I think he's just a
I could
trucker,
see
and it's
that.
just this type of shit happens.
You know, you see shit out on the road, I guess.
You know, he might dip into some like maybe he dips into a little demon hunting. You know, you have to. The demons are fucking up the roads, trying to get the trucks going.
I also do
Yeah.
just want to mention there's twice that Red mentions that um they ripped his shirt, the jersey shirt with like 44 on it.
Oh yeah,
Oh
no, he
yeah.
loved that shirt. He got real
He
mad.
loved that shirt. It was his favorite shirt, and the very end scene, you see that that is the shirt that he met Mandy in,
Oh
and that
yeah.
made me sad.
Oh, ripped his shirt.
Ripped his meeting Mandy shirt,
To win
which I
my
mean,
song.
On that depressing note, I think it's time we go into final thoughts.
let's do it.
I'm gonna go last. It's not gonna be a negative note. I feel I need to go
Okay.
last.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll go first. I'm just going full out 5 out of 5. This movie super fun to watch. I love that the plot. I mean, I don't know if simple is the word because like it's. I think simple is a good word. Like it's weird,
Yeah.
but it's simple, and I love that there's not a bunch of over explanation and there's not a bunch of like exposition and stuff. It's just like here, take it, take the plot, take this movie, and
Mhm.
here it is,
Oh, yeah.
which I enjoyed. It was more focused, which I like, and it just gave it a chance to just go along for the ride and not have to overthink everything. Um, I mean, it was visually stunning, as we said. I love, we go from like the live action and then there's little animated bits in between, which is cool. Very like heavy metal-esque art
Mhm.
style, which is classic and like totally goes with the feel of the movie. Um, just like I was never bored. I was super invested. Like even the first this movie is over 2 hours and it does not feel that way. It feels like it's maybe 90 minutes.
Mhm.
Um, and like the opening, like the first half of it, like not a lot happens, but I'm like super invested in their relationship and like knowing them of
Mhm.
what they'll give me to know, even though we don't get that much. We don't get that much about them. Um,
Mhm.
but it's just super fun. This movie's super fun. I mean, it's kind of heavy, obviously, because there is a horrible spouse death. So, if that kind of thing hits you hard, yeah, it's heavy, but I feel like they we are also avenged as Mandy
Mhm.
is avenged. So makes it all worth it. 5 out of 5. And I told my spouse that he is to avenge me in this way as well.
The
If
exact
something like
same
this
way.
happens to me. Yes, exactly. So there you go.
Yeah, I'll follow up with that. I agree like 100% with everything you're saying. I think this movie is so perfect and fun and great. My favorite horror movie franchise is the Evil Dead series, and I kind of felt it had a very similar vibe, like they were distant cousins.
Mhm.
Um, I think this is Nicolas Cage like showing what he can do when he really does care about the material. You know, he's often a running joke, but like when he's in it, he's really in it, and those movies are so good. And this is definitely one of them. I mentioned earlier that it kind of kicked off like a series of really good ones for him, like Pig and Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent and Willy's Wonderland, which could very well be like a spiritual successor to this.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
those two
This movie is
those two characters he plays definitely hang out. Like,
Oh yeah.
like pure emotion, a pure emotion from Cage. There's so little dialogue.
yeah, and I I just loved everything about it. Visually, it was amazing. I like that the plot is a little more truncated and just bare bones because, um, like you said about the runtime, you don't feel it at all. It just flows, and you're in it the whole ride. I'm giving this movie a 5.
Hell yeah.
I think this might be my first 5 that I ever gave one.
Oh,
Ooh,
really?
I think it might be.
I think it is. Because I think you gave 9 a 4.5, right?
Yeah,
I know you almost gave Grandma's Boy a 5, but it didn't quite
uh,
get there.
that is definitely not what happened. Uh,
So
We can agree this
Stewed,
is a much better movie than Grandma's Boy then.
that's
At
true.
least that. Yeah.
I concede, yeah.
Mhm. There we go. Uh, um, yeah, I mean, I'm a 5 out of 5 too. That was my before we reduxed it. That was my rating hasn't changed from the first time we reviewed this. I actually liked it a lot better. There's some things I didn't really catch, like even though uh, even though it may not be the intended uh like theme of the movie. I mean, I got a really like anti like like religion, like establishment, like religion type of thing from it.
Yeah.
Um, just like with a lot of some of the symbolism in it, just with just this the cult kind of just forcing their way in to their
Yeah, these
lives.
people just minding their business,
Yeah,
being peaceful and happy.
and she doesn't go with the cult too, because I mean like all throughout like all her shirts. I mean she's got like a Black Sabbath shirt. She's got like the Motley Crue like pentagram shirt. Like there's it shows like a little bit of a rebellion from that type of thing. As a metalhead. Uh, and also just like later, I mean, with a lot of things that he says in like to her and also to Cage when in their final interaction, like just like the the demand that they have of like that you should be you should follow me or I can save you. It's you that is wrong.
Yeah.
That it's you that's weak. And but as soon as they don't have like they're taken out of their powerful places and can't hide behind like police or whatever power, like they fold and their principles are gone. Like how he's just like, oh fuck your dick, man, just don't kill me.
Yeah, I
Very
mean,
much.
he died real easy. Nobody helped him.
Yeah. And then just like burning the church after too, which is honestly also just like the imagery of just like it might just be just like the metal imagery, because like that church burning it's very reminiscent, because it's like an old school kind of style church. It's like out in the wilderness. It was in that like weird pit, but it reminded me a lot of like Mayhem, of like the the Norwegian church burnings. They were like used on the unofficial artwork of a lot of those like early black metal albums, bootleg albums, demos and stuff. So I mean, of course, that tickled me. that tickled my little metalhead boner. I mean, just the nonstop, just like even in the first part of this movie, when you could say like there's kind of establishing the relationship, there's not much going on. There's still just a lot going on visually, just nonstop. That it keeps you into it too, and I love just the choice of actors in this, just of how striking they all look, just like very detailed people. I'll say, they're not like your usual like kind of plain faced like
Plain
Hollywood
hottie.
types. Yeah, they all just like looked like they're part of like if you went into like a cult, you could see the archetypes and like the members of like
I
of the
also
very jealous first kind of girl,
yeah.
who's devout
I
and
did
just
forget
like
to
punishes it. Mm.
I forgot to mention like the score was really cool too.
Oh yeah, the score. I mean, they did the synth in it, the like
Yeah.
80s synth, like very, ooh,
But like sinister 80s synth.
yeah, like that
Definitely
John
can trip
Carr
to
produced
this.
shit.
I definitely can trip to this.
Oh, yeah, maybe mushrooms. I could probably do mushrooms. I maybe wouldn't. I'm not great with the acid part with those types of things, but yeah. But love that. Just also tickling my little true crime boner, and then my supernatural boner and D&D boner. A lot of
Man.
boners getting tickled here.
So many boners.
So many boners. And
Got a
what
proper
else was I
circle
gonna
jerk
point?
going there.
Oh yeah, and I love to mention that this was filmed near where like the Crystal Lake was, because I mean there's definitely some homages to just like a lot of 80s things. I mean, definitely too, just like how he was killing the cult members. Like that axe throw was just right out of like Friday. I'm not. Yeah, Friday the 13th. Always have to fight myself not to say Nightmare on Elm Street. But loved all that. It's fucking this movie's fucking awesome.
Bonerific.
And
Alright,
yeah,
so,
bonerific.
So it's my turn. It is my turn now. So
Come rain
we
on our parade.
we got 5 across the board. Unfortunately,
You gotta be kidding me.
I'm at a 4.5 out of 5.
Still high rating. Still high rating.
At least it's not a fucking. This isn't a Mulholland Drive situation.
No, I do extremely like this movie. The bikers are cool, but I feel they should be in a different movie.
Why do you guys say that about Fuck Pig?
Fuck Big Bull.
I
Fuck
don't.
Pig Bull.
I'm not saying I don't want the bikers. I'm just saying anytime the bikers are actually like present, I just feel that it's completely different. It feels too disjointed. Like I get we see the one scene of Brother Swan with them, but I guess if they just were like guarding, like if they just were more attached to the cult, I guess it would have worked. But it just
You have an artifact to summon them.
Yeah, it just
Born of the Braxis.
they definitely clashed for me. They definitely clashed with the movie for me. I would prefer if he saved them for something else, and we just got him going and fighting all the cult leaders, and we got some really epic, some brawls, and just down to earth more instead of maybe save that stuff for like a sequel, like maybe get.
I don't think there's anything about this that was down to earth though.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's too fanciful for my likings with the cult. I kind of wish that the cult was just, you know, a cult.
Mm.
Yeah, it kind of it's hard to have an illusion of a cult leader as Jeremiah is supposed to be when you have all this like clearly magical attachment, yet he can't use it. Like he doesn't like he doesn't. It's just not there, and it just feels like it's because it was not there to begin with, and it was like a tacked on element to the movie. And as I mentioned when we first started talking about it, the charisma of the cult leader is just too weak for me. I just don't believe it. And knowing that this actor can deliver the charisma required to be a cult leader, it just really bothers me. I guess you gotta have a kingly kind of attitude towards yourself when you're a cult leader. You gotta think highly of yourself, and Jeremiah, I didn't get that from him. I got him. He was trying to humble himself too much, to the point where it's like, okay, like it's
I didn't
obvious
get
you're.
any humble vibes from Jeremiah.
I know that he was trying to be soft and caring, and the music that he makes was
Manipulative.
so, you know, yeah, that's exactly. But it was obvious manipulation. Then it
I don't know how humble you are when you think God told you that you can take whatever you want from life.
I'm not saying that he was being a humble person. It's just how he was presenting himself as a cult leader was a very humble cult leader.
I mean, that's how
Very soft.
It seems pretty on par for someone who's trying to, like, you know, trying to be like a Jesus Christ type of figure.
Yeah.
But they always try to. I mean, that's part of the way that a lot of them try to manipulate. They have like their soft type of like phases,
He never
and then
demonstrated
they're crazy.
any, like, I guess I just needed like a good moment of like the
Of him like beating one of the
Anthill Kids moment of him forcing one of the intestines out of one of
something
his
like that.
followers or something. Yeah, just something to just like establishes his power. That there's
He
not
makes
that
the one
moment.
chick play Russian roulette.
That gun wasn't really loaded, and he fucking knows it.
Had one bullet in it.
So we see, but sleight of hand, he might have not really loaded the bullet.
I guess.
Did we see him physically put the bullet in the chamber? Or did he do
Yeah.
Did he
Yeah.
No, he did the sly thing of where he has the fucking chamber turned to him and he fucking puts the bullet in. It's because he didn't put the bullet in. Classic Russian roulette fucking scam. Classic. Y'all fell for it, see? Yeah, y'all, I saw right through it.
Well, dead.
And this is why I'm the cult leader. But yeah, 4.5 out of 5. Pretty much, like I said, just the bikers was just too much of a detached element, and the cult leader really needed some charisma. I didn't dislike the bikers. It just that they didn't feel like they needed to be in this movie. I much would have preferred him going out and methodically taking out the cult.
Gotcha.
Wow.
But yeah, I think we done it. I think that's it.
It's a 5, 5, 5,
So, yeah.
4.5.
No, it's not.
That's good. Yeah, it's a 5, 5, 5, 4.5.
Okay, I only heard the 5 part of the 0.5, 4.5.
Sorry, must cut out.
So yeah,
Been kind of cut in and out.
this is the part where I do the outro, right?
Yes, yes.
So,
Yeah.
if you've been listening to us this long, thank you so much. Please leave a like, comment what you think about Mandy in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel. We finally passed 100 subscribers, and I would like to see those numbers continue to go up. Ring that bell, and this is where I go, hey, does anybody got to sign off?
Yeah. Well, you go first.
Red just screaming, "I'm your god now," as he squeezes the cult leader's face to explosion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I love this movie like a fat kid loves cake.
And I didn't have the quote pulled up, but I'll try to rough it. But it's when oh shit, what's his name? Who's the dude that had
Brothers?
all the Yeah, Crothers? Is that what his name's been?
Yep.
Yeah.
Crothers, okay. It's hard. It was hard to hear that name through the fuzziness. But when he was explaining about the black skulls, he said the last time I saw them, they were in a lot of pain. But the fucked up thing about it, they loved it.
Alright, and this is where I go, please remember to tell your children that cats die, music fades, but art is for keeps. And go hell Henry Zabrowski, motherfuckers. This will
What
be...
if I don't want to believe that cats die?
I'm not gonna tell you that you can't live in that delusion, but I will have to tell you that it is a delusion. You can live in it, though. That's for sure.
Hey,
Okay.
Cowboy Bebop shows you gotta sometimes after you die 9 times, you don't want to come back.
Alright, so I think we done it. I think I can go bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.
You're right. Oh. God, you're right.